How does it feel to be recognized by the Santa Barbara International Film Festival as an outstanding director?
That sounds nice when you say it. It's great. It's mainly like the other people that they're recognizing. It's just like the idea that I can even sort of share a room with them is really, it's humbling and it's awesome. It's really an honor.
Can you talk about a little bit about how personal the film Whiplash is to you?
Yeah, it's in large part my story. I mean, I was a drummer and had a very tough teacher and went through a kind of trial by fire in a music school sort of setting. So all of that just basically was fodder for the movie. But I think it helps. It certainly helped me, especially as a new director, to really kind of be doing something really personal that I knew firsthand, and kind of putting those memories on screen to a certain extent.
How was it working with JKMiles?
A gift. They're just two totally different generations, different styles of acting, different approaches to it, but equally amazing. JK has been on over 100 sets. He's a seasoned pro. Miles is much younger, more instinctive, but they both are just able to be so in the moment. So really the most fun thing about the whole movie was getting to watch them play. My job was really just not to screw it up, because they had this chemistry going between them that was like just some of the greatest screen chemistry I've ever seen.
Did you feel like you had to direct them differently because of their different places they're coming from in age?
I think every actor, you want to direct every actor differently. Every actor is different. There's no kind of one sort of rote formula that I think works for. I think that's part of the challenge of directing, is really getting to know your actors and figuring out what some like more direction, some don't. Both JK and Miles really thrived in a space that gave them some freedom. Obviously, the movie was completely storyboarded. It was completely written, so there was kind of a strict apparatus, but within that, they were really able to kind of make stuff their own and sort of make the language their own and really inhabit the characters themselves.
And how will this universal acclaim shape your future as a director?
I don't know. It's just you feel more pressure, basically. I mean, it's like I want to come back here.
What were the personal experiences with music that, in some ways, inspired you to get into this on screen or on film?
I was a drummer, and I had a teacher, and yeah, and that's it. And I remember, so the longer story is basically I was, for about 4 years was in this guy's ensemble, and he was, very domineering and very strict, and definitely believed in that sort of idea of motivating through fear and through, certainly he wouldn't call it abuse, but through, really sort of a tough hand. And so I 10 years later, kind of thinking back to what that experience meant to me, I learned from it. I did become a good drummer as a result, but it's like, does that justify that kind of behavior? So I thought, it'd be interesting to write a script that took a character somewhat like that, and made him sort of even more obviously a monster. And that was sort of part of the key with this character, was that there would be no gray zone in terms of whether or not he's abusive. The gray zone is whether or not there's any kind of world in which you can justify that.